So hello everybody, this is going to be a very short video. Me and my sheep pajamas are going to give you some coaching advice in this time of difficulty that the world is embracing. So I'm keeping myself updated, and I have seen that this pandemic is spreading everywhere, and a lot of countries are using or starting to approach Italian procedures. So that's going to mean that a lot of you will probably find yourselves in the situation of having to stay home when you're not used to it. So I would invite with this video all of you that are used to staying home and that enjoy their time home to take a moment to share with others what your favorite activities are, so that you can give your connationals some ideas about what to do at home. The biggest problem that I am seeing over here, that since the quarantine has been issued and enforced, which means 1 week, is that a lot of people are freaking out because they run out of ideas about what to do at home. A lot of extroverts and a lot of introverts too are very used to going outside, and they're not used to enjoying their times in their homes, and that is being transformed into an issue that is causing a lot of psychological problems to a lot of people. When I say psychological problems, I mean that when we're forced into a time of quarantine, so we're forced not to go out, not to do what we want. A lot of anxiety and a lot of anger, latent anger, tend to raise. That's a social thing. It's normal. Do not feel weird or stupid or wrong if you feel angry when you are in quarantine and you cannot control your anger. Anxiety and anger are part of the fear, and they're part of you as being human. What can you do to contain your emotional outbursts, to contain your emotional state, and to help others around you? What you can do is remember that this is something that you are doing for your whole country, that this is a measure so that everyone around you and everyone that you didn't even know is going to feel better. So this is that one case scenario in which the action of one single person actually weighs on the entire population of a nation. What can you do at home, though? At home, you can do pretty much anything. Just remember, if you're sportive and you like doing sports, take a lot of care. Switch to cardio and try to avoid, sorry, I see a hair there and it's bothering me. So try to avoid as much as you can any activity that can actually put you in danger, like breaking the leg or breaking an arm or stuff like that, because what we're trying to achieve here and what the state is trying to achieve is not to burden healthcare systems. So any issue that will take you to the hospital is going to be a problem. So slow down with physical activity, but remember that physical activity at home can be an asset to help you regulate your emotional state. So it is an outlet for rage and it is an outlet for anxiety. So a little bit of cycling, a little bit of walking around the home, some squats maybe, little things that can help you take out that anxiety and anger that you will slowly grow within yourself, are going to help. So this is probably the biggest advice that I can give you. Remember physical activity. Do not forget to stay safe and to keep yourself safe. So yeah, other things that I can suggest: remember the games that we used to do when we were kids. And here I'm talking to 40 years olds like me. We are the ones that are supposed to help those that are much younger. Remember cardboard games, or I don't know how they're called actually. They're team games that you can do on a board and you play with others around the table. So keep the meter distance as much as you can. Do not gather in groups. Remember hangouts. You can play Risiko online. You can play a lot of games with your friends online. Remember Google Hangouts if you need socializing. That's a problem for extroverts. They need a lot of socializing. So remember Hangouts. Remember all the ways that you have to keep in touch with your friends through social media. And as you do that, try to remember which of your friends are actually introverted and do not need you to push them, because that's going to be a problem instead if you start pushing people around. So yeah, remember, do not burden others, but use these methods that can keep you in touch with others. If you like reading is a very good activity that is going to make you spend a lot of time without even noticing it. It is passing. I'm not a fan of TV, honestly, because I've grown up in an era where TV was pretty much looked down to, and therefore I'm not much of a fan of supporting watching TV all day long. But yeah, that's an option too. You can watch your TV series, your work, you can watch your movies, you can do stuff like that. Try as much as you can to limit conflict within your family environment, because that's going to burden everyone. And yeah, over here measures are strict but not too strict. So if you find yourself in a situation where staying home with others is really psychologically burdening and could end up in a very bad environment, in a very bad situation, you can write your document and take a walk outside. Just remember to stay away from anybody else. Keep the meter distance if you meet someone. And do not stop to chit-chat with anyone. You can do a little bit of physical activity if you have to, and if you cannot avoid it. But remember that every time you go outside, you're putting yourself in danger, and you're putting yourself in danger of hurting yourself and burdening the healthcare system. So yeah, that needs to be limited too. But yeah, that's also an option over here at least. So yeah, I thought that given the spreading of this crisis all around the world, it would be a good idea to share the experience that I've had up to now. I've seen a lot of, well, over here in Italy, they've started doing these flash mobs at 6 p.m. Out of the windows. That's something that can escalate quickly. So if you feel the urge and the need to join that kind of thing, I would suggest to do it, because that's anyway a moment of socialization. But do not forget that that can also cause some clashes with other people that disagree with that modality. So I'm probably one of the most open, closed-minded people about that thing. I can understand that others need that kind of thing to an extent, but I know there's others that will not understand at all. So remember that that is something that can cause clashes. Also, if you follow the net and if you are on the net, remember that a lot of people that are normally online are not used to disco, pub, or coffee kind of interaction. So you're probably going to receive a lot of answers you're not used to and you're not going to expect. And that's also heavy on the other side, because as an introvert that lives online, most of my social, so to speak, life, I can guarantee you that seeing these people with this outside kind of interaction modality is kind of burdening. To me, they're even loud online. I can hear them coming. Like it's really embarrassing. Anyway, yeah, it's going to cause clashes too. So now I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I'm experiencing. I have noticed that on pages and on websites where I am not active but passively watching, on the Senseiya page, I'm still a little bit active. Well, kind of active. But anyway, in these places where I'm watching and looking around, I have noticed that there's a lot of need to let out this anxiety and anger I was talking about. And that causes a lot of clashes. Like I said, there's a lot of people that are not used to online modalities of interaction, and online there's a lot of people that are not used to normal outside modalities of interaction, and that causes very big issues. I've seen a lot of people banned for very stupid reasons, honestly. Like, for example, today one person attacked another one. Well, a guy from center Italy attacked the southern Italian for being racist against southern Italians. And that's because the guys didn't know each other. And it was a judgment based on a moment of anger. I don't think this person was actually a bad person, to be honest. What I have seen in that interaction, that clash, was actually people being burdened by a situation that they're finding heavy and difficult to sustain. So that's why I decided to make this video. I see a lot of famous people, a lot more famous than me, and talking about singers and people like that, um, talking online and making videos and teaching people how to spend time at home, and they're having a lot of difficulties because they themselves do not know what they're doing. So I thought in some way this is probably my best option, not to be burdened all day through by questions like, what do you do all day through at home? What do you do all day through at home? And I also want to give a hand to my duo and give a couple of ideas, even though I'm not the one here that has a lot of ideas about what to do. Please remember and consider that I am the kind of person that spends all her day at home writing and doing stuff for her work. So I basically work day in, day out, and I'm not a very fun-oriented kind of person. So yeah, I think this is basically everything I have to say. I feel a little bit anxious about this thing because I'm not, I don't think that I am the right person to give this kind of advice, but I'm still one introvert being at home, and I'm doing my little job trying to cooperate with Italy and with the rest of the world. I hope this is going to help, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.